Hey guys, Andy here. So over the last 12 months I've tested quite a lot of different headphones, mainly Bluetooth noise cancelling headphones, be it the Bose QC35-2s, be it the Sennheiser, whatever they were, 550s, Plantronics, Pro Beat. I tested a lot of headphones, but my favourite, quite easily, well not quite easily, but my favourite were the Sonys. They were the WH-1000XM3s. So I was quite excited when I heard that they were bringing out an M3. And today I've just got back from John Lewis, where I've picked up said M3s, WH-1000XM3s. Now this video is going to, first of all I'm just going to unbox it, then I'll use them for a little while, and then I'll come back and give my sort of thoughts on it. I think there's quite a high chance I'll be sort of making some references to the difference to the XM2s, but I will do a whole separate video on kind of comparison, which might help if you're wondering, should I spend the money to upgrade? So just removing the cellophane from the box. Fairly obvious Bluetooth wireless noise cancelling. We knew that. 30 hours battery power, which is pretty much the best you're going to get. High-res audio, it says. On the back we have some sort of specs on what's in the box and things like that, how the controls work. And then there's some NFC, Sense Engine, LDAC, Digital A, DCHX, and then aptX HD, which is one of the sort of key things for me because that cuts out the audio lag. I'm told the new chip that's used for the noise cancelling is like 4 times more powerful than the last one or something like that. So the box, it certainly seems pretty sort of protective and solid. You see the zipper there, it's kind of a bronze colour, which I think is a bit of a theme that we're going to see as I open them up. So initially they look quite similar to the last pair, the XM2s. Let's just move the headset out and let's just see what's in here first. So we've got a regular 3.5mm cable, should we want, and I think we've got the sort of aeroplane, if I can get it out, yeah, like aeroplane adapter, 2-prong, and we also have a very short USB Type-C cable, which for most of us is going to be a good thing. I'm going to leave that in there because I don't particularly need. I've got a charger. And you'll notice this is a sort of a net bag on the outside, should you wish to store anything in there. So, as you see, they fold up into a travel position, and they quite easily fold back out again. The buttons that we have, the noise cancelling button, which with an update to my my headset changed, well, I had the option of changing it to be basically a Google Assistant button, which I did. I don't generally want to be able to rotate through the noise cancelling modes. We've got a power button just next to it there. Looks like we've got some mics around the outside there, look. The 3.5mm jack inputs, and there we see the kind of bronze coloured highlights. The WH-1000XM3, if the camera focuses on that, there we go. Over the band. And on the other side, the Type-C charging point. I think that is all on this side. The leather does feel nice and soft. And I'm just going to try them on real quick to. So I'd heard that they were much more comfortable than the previous version. They certainly do feel very comfortable, there's no denying that. Whether or not they're more comfortable, yeah, maybe. They're maybe a bit softer and possibly slightly larger. We'll do more of that in the actual comparison video. They've also kind of, I don't know, maybe flattened out is the word. So the old ones, they kind of go up and then almost square off and come across your head. These ones are more rounded to fit your actual head. So they do, it all feels very good. I know a lot of people don't like the hinges. There's the first model apparently used to break a lot at the hinge. and they've not changed it much. They have apparently adapted it, and it was a small issue still on the second model, but a much less of an issue. So at this point I'm going to get the app installed, I'm going to use them for a little while, and then I'll come back to talk you through the app and just generally my impressions of the headphones. So I'm back a few days later. I've been using the headphones. Let's take you through, as I said I would, first of all the app. So when you download it, it's called Sony headphones something, but in your app drawer it's just going to say headphones. So add device, turn on device, it says. That's, I'm upside down a minute, there we go. So I'm only going to turn it on, that's what it says. Next. Then I want to register with NFC, which you can see is there. Yes. It says it's pairing. We heard the blip. Set the volume, and it says Google Assistant is. So let's do that. Now set up your Google Assistant. Continue. Your assistant is set up. So I've already set up Google Assistant in my phone, and I think it's just kind of use those settings, use my voice, etc., and we'll come out a little bit more to that in a moment. Oh, so these are assistant settings, sorry. So spoken notification, so we can set up what it will tell us notifications of. Again, I think I've already set those before. See the firmware version and battery and other information like that. So let's come back from add device, register a new headphone, register. So right, there we go. We're into the actual app. This is what you will generally see when you've connected your headphones and you open up the app. So you can see obviously the phone, aptX, Bluetooth. So it's telling me the connection it's got uses aptX, which is brilliant. It's telling me the battery power. So adaptive sound control. You can basically set it up so that if you're sat stationary, it has the noise cancellation set to a certain type. If you're walking about or jogging, it can change the noise cancellation. So now it's going to the whole detecting thing. To be honest, I won't do that. There's no need, but sounds quite clever. So if you do, I generally just use mine sat in my room, watching TV, using the computer. I actually have a different headphones if I'm going to the gym. But it would be quite handy that it would automatically know what I'm doing and adjust. If I'm jogging, I might want to hear a bit more of vehicles around me, and it would just change automatically for me to do that. I think it's really clever. Ambient sound control. So this is quite clever as well. And well, this is kind of what I was just talking about, in that you can set different levels of the noise cancellation. So you see how the sort of image changes in the background there, basically sort of signifying how much of the noise of the different things come through. Now if we go about halfway and then I tap focus on voice, the vehicles have gone, but the people are still there. So it will specifically try and let any spoken words and voice come through, but it will try and cut out the ambient sort of traffic and such. I've never really tested that. Unfortunately, I should have, I suppose, for the review, but I'd have to have probably headed into town and then walked around Piccadilly Circus or something and see what it did. But again, quite clever idea. Let's turn noise cancelling all the way to the maximum. Don't worry about focusing on voice. So here is where you can basically just. So I should put the headphones on. Yeah. So measuring your wearing conditions, and it's making like almost organ noise, blip, blip, bloop, blip, all different strange weird noises. Measures the atmospheric pressure, and then it just announces the optimizer's finished, and then silence. And it is an actual silence this time. So the Mark IIs, there was a slight white noise when it was on, so I can't hear, like my fan in the computer is quite loud actually. Can't hear it, and you couldn't with the Mark IIs, but there was a slight white noise, which was kind of a, I don't know if you can hear that on my microphone, but the Mark IIIs, perfect silence, and it is and it is amazing. It's beautiful. So then we've got the sound position control. So if I'm listening to music or whatever through my phone, I can move. Okay, let's do that. And I'll come to that in a second. I can move where the sound is coming from. And I don't know why I would do that. Someone please comment if you can think of a reason. So the only thing I can think of is if you're watching a TV, you want it to sound like the sound's coming from the TV at you. But why would you want to do that? Why wouldn't you just want the sound to kind of envelop you? Be all around you? Or why would you want the sound coming specifically from, I don't know. Someone let me know why. I mean, yeah, I'm not against putting it in as an option, but why would I use that? Then we've got the surround sound modes, which generally just are different ways to degrade your listening pleasure. That's how I see it. It's really weird. So why would I want to sound like I'm at an outsourced stage or a concert? I mean, I suppose maybe a concert hall, you listen to classical music and you want that sort of authentic feeling, but it does just degrade the sound quality. Why wouldn't you want to listen to it at its best sound quality? I don't know. So I like the options there. I'm just not quite sure why you would use it really. Then we're on to the graphic equalizer, which is it's a graphic equalizer. You can go in and do your own settings, however you might want. That's the manual version. That was where it would tell you if you're playing anything, it would be there. Now, so you might saw that message earlier. I was on priority on sound quality, and it said, well, you can't. It basically said you can't do anything clever while you're in sound quality. You've got to go to stable connection. Okay. Now, quite frankly, I don't really think. Well, I'm not an audiophile. I'm probably going slightly deaf by now, to be honest. I don't think I can tell the difference between the two modes. So in some ways, all right, yeah, leave it on stable connection. Again, I like the options there because some people complain about Bluetooth, how it crackles and cuts in and out and stuff. And I think the idea is that this will help that. It will. I suppose it's going to lower the bit rate a little bit, I'm guessing, so that the connection is an easier connection to maintain smoothly. DSE-HX is on auto. I think this helps the quality of MP3 music. It sort of can. I'm not sure, but I think it helps the quality of MP3 music. So here we have the bit about changing the function of the NC ambient button, which I'm going to take the headphones off again. Is that button just there? So by default, it just kind of cycles through the noise cancelling modes, kind of off on. I don't know if it's like maybe it does voice focus in between. I mean, I guess if you're out and about, you might want to change that. But generally, I'm not that bothered. I'd much rather have it so that as I press that button. So it's announced the time to me. Let's pop it back on. Oh, now it's just reading me all of my notifications. Let's try. Will it rain tomorrow? No, it won't rain tomorrow. So it will be partly cloudy with a high. Fine, thank you. So yeah, that's very smooth, very quick, very responsive. Nothing at all happened on the actual phone, which is interesting. So they've done a good job of building it in kind of as seamlessly as they were on the Pixel Buds, where you just tap and talk and they go, and nothing happened on your phone, and it was almost instant. That's how it's working on these now, which I think is actually fantastic. I do actually quite like Google Assistant. And if I was the person that wore these out and about doing things, I think that would be quite handy, just saying, give me directions to wherever and it's going to tell you, or just, where's the nearest coffee house, or whatever you might want to know. Then we've got, I think that's the final setting, auto power off, 5 minutes, fine. So there you go, the app is actually pretty well featured. When you compare it to other apps of other noise cancelling headphones, the Sony one is probably the best one that I've used. I know I've just kind of slagged off a lot of the settings. They say, well, why would you want to do that? But I like that they give you the options. Some people might want those options. A lot of the other apps don't have anything like that at all. So I do like the app. So let's talk a little bit about the actual headphones. I like the design. It's quite a nice, simple, sort of classy design. They don't look sort of garish. They don't look sort of wow, look at me type thing. They're just headphones. I like the new sort of bronze highlights. They're quite cool. Again, quite classy, I think. The buttons are nice and clicky. They're actually quite pronounced now. They stick out quite nicely. They're very easy to find. Obviously, NFC pairing. That's a fairly standard thing these days, I suppose. The cups are very soft. They're nice and soft. They're nice and big as well. The headphones themselves are a little bit lighter as well than the Mark II, generally giving you a very comfortable feeling. I mean, the Mark IIs were comfortable as well, but they were never quite as comfortable as the Bose. I think these, I'd have to probably sort of borrow some Bose again now to maybe do a more direct comparison, but these are much more, I think, to where the Bose were. And I have recommended, I mean, literally a couple of days ago, someone was asking about noise cancelling headphones and which one should they buy. They were just using it for music, and I said, you probably want to go the Bose because they are actually a more comfortable headphone to wear. I think now these Mark IIIs are along, that's going to be an interesting comparison. And then as they have before, the touch controls on the outside, they work very well. So there's the volume up, volume down. That should be next track. Oh. That's interesting. So the tap does nothing now, which is kind of interesting. You would have thought that would have just started and stopped the music. What you can do is hold your ear over the cup, and that will it doesn't stop the music, I don't think. Well, maybe it does actually. No, so I can still hear the music, but now it's doing a pass through, so I can actually hear my own voice coming through the earphones. But this would be if you're on a plane, music's back, so you're there listening to your music or your movie or whatever. The flight attendant comes up to you, hello there, and then blah, 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 and you can hear. That's actually that seems a lot clearer and louder than the Mark IIs. Actually, that's really quite good. And then you let it go, and you're back to your music. Perhaps worth noting, I take them off, the music keeps playing. I know some headphones they have sort of detection of when you remove them. I'm not a big fan of that. I prefer to sort of start and stop it myself. But having said that, now the one tap. The one tap doesn't start and stop music, so you would have to get your phone out to pause. It seems a little bit weird. So as for the noise cancellation, fantastic, really very good. There's a few different ways I test it. One is I'm sat right next to my air conditioner here, which when I'm playing games I normally have on because my computer kicks out a lot of heat with those fans going. It's a lot of ambient noise, a really large amount of ambient noise. And when the noise cancellation kicks in, instead of hearing a, you hear a type noise. It is amazing. The other way I test it is my washing machine. So when the washing machine's going row, 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 it really is impressive. You have to, if you haven't heard them, if you haven't tried them, these or the Bose really, or the Sennheiser 550s, whatever they were, really impressive. You need to try it. I think I might have already mentioned, but these ones as well, you've got the actual pure silencers, not even any white noise, which really is very good. I didn't mention the app will do a firmware update on your headphones I think probably all of them, because I just bought mine and I had to do the update. It takes about 30 minutes, just be aware, and you can't plug them in, because when you plug the headphones in, they turn off. So, because I did that, and I hope I've not broke the headphones by interrupting the update process. It wasn't, it was fine. So, noise cancellation, definitely amazing. How about the actual sound quality? They are headphones after all. I'm not a massive audiophile, but I do like my music. I do like a good bit of bass, and wow, these things have some really good bass. Personally, I think the sound quality really good. I don't think you'll find anyone will disagree. I mean, they're a £330 pair of Sony headphones. You would hope that the actual sound quality is good. I think that it is. I love that they have the built-in codec, so the aptX HD. For me, is really important because I do wear them for playing computer games. And with the Bose, for example, you'd fire a gun, you'd hear the noise afterwards. So it'd go bang. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it was noticeable. And it was really off-putting. That's why I ended up buying the first Sonys that I bought. Because when you've noticed that, you then notice when you're watching TV, someone clinks some glasses together, and clink, and it's really quite jarring in some ways. So love aptX HD. Make sure, so I have a dongle that I use for my TV and the computer, which it was actually £25-26, which is quite expensive for a dongle. I've done a video on it to look up for Tautronics. don't know, I'm showing it that camera, that's the better one. But it has aptX, so you get that ultra fast or low latency, and I think we're down at around 100 milliseconds as opposed to sort of 300 or 400 other bows. So really, again, for me, that's really important. And I suppose the final point is just the battery life. 30 hours. 30 hours is really, I mean, that's multiple flights, isn't it? I mean, I don't have to charge once every 1 or 2 weeks, and I use them every day for a good few hours. So 30 hours battery life, fantastic. So all in all, I think that they are a great pair of headphones. They really are. I do like them. That's why I sort of dished out for the latest version, because I loved the Mark IIs, and I thought, well, the Mark III, from what I'm hearing, it is going to be better, and they are. Are they worth upgrading? Is it worth you spending £330 if you've got the 2s, upgrading to the 3s? I will do another sort of much shorter video, just kind of talking through the differences and helping you decide, because only you can really know that. But there we go. That's the Sony WH-1000XM3s. My name's Andy. Leave me your comments in down below, and I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fella that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum if you've got any questions about things, or request me to review things, or anything else. Just come and have a chat on the forum.